Alright, time for our first inspection. See if the queen has been released. Come around the front of the hive, we can see we do have some activity. Bees coming in and out. And yeah, so we're still here. Sugar syrup. As you probably recall in the previous video, I was incorrect in my proportions on the sugar syrup. I since have corrected that. I came out here a couple days ago with a new tub of sugar syrup that was mixed 1 pound of sugar to 1 pound of water. So this is a little bit more concentrated, and I'm hoping the bees will like this better. One thing I noticed when I changed it over was that the water was very warm, or at least the sugar syrup was very warm. This sugar syrup feels like they have drunk a little bit of it there. I think I will just leave those twigs as is. See if we can encourage the bees to get back into the hive there. Already see the yellow along the edges here. I'm starting to build up some propolis. Set that down there. Look at all of those bees. Take this end frame here. No wax on it. And we'll set that aside right over here. The stand I built specifically with these pieces spaced far enough that you can put a frame lengthwise in between there as a hanger. Take a look in here. Has a fair amount of heft to it, and I believe that is because of all of the bees on it. But if you look closely, you can see them starting to draw out some comb on the upper part here, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's some reflection on there of liquid. So even though the comb that they're drawing out isn't completed yet, they're still starting to fill it with nectar. And here on this side, once again, let me see if I can bring it in a little closer. You can see how they're starting to draw it out, and it's filled with liquid. I don't see the queen right off the bat here. Set this back in gently. Alright, this frame is the frame that was right up against the queen cage. And it also has some heft to it. I don't know if you can see here how they have really started to draw out the comb here, and here they are also they're filling the comb with nectar. Now in this frame, I can already see there is the beginnings of some burr comb. And I believe that is because the queen cage was taking up a little bit of extra space, and we were unable to maintain the correct bee space because of that. Here again we can see comb being drawn out and filled with nectar. There's the queen. See if I can point her out to you. I don't know if you can see that bee with the white dot on her thorax there. That's our queen. There she goes again. Alright, well I need to do something about this burr comb here. First let's remove our queen cage. And we'll just sit that on the side there for the time being. Smoke has been used in beekeeping for thousands of years. The bees don't like it. I don't know if you noticed that they all of a sudden started humming and fanning as soon as I smoked them. The experts tell us that the smoke disrupts the pheromones that they use to communicate with. So there's the queen right on top, going back down again. So I'm going to gently put this back in, trying not to squash any bees. Alright, well that's encouraging. The queen has been released. Now what I'd like to see would be evidence of some eggs. Have not seen that yet. More comb with nectar. And here again we have some more burr comb. So we'll gently remove that. I don't know if you can see the nectar running out of this foam that I'm cutting here. Fetch that out of the hive. I don't want to leave it there. So the bees are starting to hum and roar a little bit more. So that probably means I should give them a little more smoke. Here's that honeycomb that we just pulled out. The bees just made this. Still a little soft and pliable. Seeing plenty of nectar in these cells. A little bit of pollen starting to accumulate there too. Any of that disrupted comb, the bees will clean it up and repair it themselves. So no eggs yet. You can see they are just starting to draw out some comb right here. And here on this side, one can see some freshly drawn out comb right here. And the dark patches look like what I would think is pollen. But these cells are filled with nectar and maybe a little bit of pollen. Not seeing any eggs yet. I find it interesting how some of the bees appear black and others appear more of the yellow and black, like one normally sees in the stereotypical honeybee. Here they're beginning to draw out some more comb on this frame. Starting to draw out this comb as well. Sorry, starting to draw out this frame as well. And before I put it back, you can see that wall of the hive has a lot of bees on it. So we'll put this back in gently here. These frames are a little hollow on the uprights. Enough that you could actually get a bee in them, and I'm trying to get them back together without trapping a bee between the two hollow sections. Get the inner cover back on. It looks like it's too many. Bees on it. Put our sticks there. Put our sugar syrup back. Upside down. Back on there for them to get to. And a nice big spacer. Alright, so what have we learned today? Well, we learned that the queen is alive. We learned that she has been released. She's no longer in her queen cage. We learned that they are drawing comb. And we learned that they have not yet started, the queen has not yet started laying eggs. However, the workers are filling the comb with honey. So, there's even a little bit in this little piece here. You can see how sticky it is. And that is the honey. Now, some of this may actually be some of the sugar syrup that feeding them, but there are flowers blooming. And so it's not unreasonable to believe that they are collecting nectar from them. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you'll join me for the next episode.